Yeah.
But two between some of the puddle, a little more flat, and then the ones that have a little bit of a dome to them.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys tested that? Have you guys
Hopefully one of them's kind of beefy.
Hopefully,
yeah. We just threw the one. It was a little puddled, and Aaron said it had some flip to it, flippier than the Lunas.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure no matter how they fly, they'll fill.
In the proud tradition of podcasts everywhere, it's three guys talking like they know stuff about things with two guys that actually do. It's the inaugural episode of Circle 3.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yo, yo.
The inaugural
Circle 3 in the
episode
house.
of Circle 3. Chris Kerns.
How's it going, Brandon?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, brother. Doing good, man. Got an ace this week. Tuesday Sanction League.
I saw that
281. Yeah, 281 feet with a little underground crystal buzz. So
I saw that money come in. What's up, everyone in the chat? Welcome. Welcome to Circle 3 with myself, Brandon Timney, and on this side of me, the absolutely handsome Chris Kerns wearing that Discraft Macbeth and Pierce Collectors group. Show him the first run. Show him the first run. Show him the first run. Ooh.
there you go.
How you doing tonight, Chris?
I'm good, man. I'm amped. I'm super pumped, with our new branding on the podcast and with our guest tonight. It's going to be a good time. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. And I know someone else that's doing great. And you guys are used to hearing this guy's voice, but maybe not seeing his face. And tonight and going forward on Circle 3, multiple meetings in the name. Our third amigo, Mr. Paul Blair. What's up, Paul? What's up,
I like the hat, Paul. That's hot. That's a little custom piece.
A custom piece. Paul, I do not hear you. You may be muted.
Fantastic intro.
There we go.
Yeah, new branding, same old Brandon.
New.
How's it going, everyone? Yeah, I'm the guy on the mic. I know how these things work.
So Circle 3, guys. So we ran a name contest. Unfortunately, we didn't pick any of your names. They were good. There were some valiant efforts, but we were trying to think outside the box, and I thinking outside the box led to thinking outside the circle.
Outside the circle.
Cheesy as that is, and yeah, we came up with Circle 3, and we're super excited. We're excited to bring this to you. We've got our sponsors, Sweet Spot Disc Golf, Wolfpack Discs. Thank you so much to them for being title sponsors of Circle 3. And this week we've got our feature sponsor, OTB. Only the best discs, only the best people at OTB. I've bought more discs than I can count from those guys. So is this guy below us, Paul Blair.
Yeah, if Danny doesn't have kids to put through college, he should consider it, because I think now he can.
I think I've actually bought 4 or 5 discs. I need to buy more. But, yeah.
I bought 4 discs today.
I traded a bunch.
Yeah, I bought a couple discs off OTB today, too. So we love OTB, and thank you guys so much for sponsoring this week. And we've got some amazing guests this week. And without further ado, I think what we're going to do is we're going to introduce those guests for you. So here's a little intro, and we can't wait to bring them on in just a second.
Hey guys, I'm Ezra, and I'm super excited to finally announce my sponsor for the upcoming seasons. I have signed a 2-year contract with Discraft, and I'm also super honored and thankful to be part of the elite team, which is just crazy, and I'm just super excited to prove myself and continue to push my game to the next level. For the disc that I have chosen to be my 2L Series disc, I have chosen a nuke. Obviously, if you guys have seen me play in tournaments or just in YouTube videos, you know that a nuke has been my go-to distance driver for a long time. And so this is what they are going to look like. We will be doing a giveaway kind of in celebration. So we'll be giving 6 of these signed nukes away. So definitely wait to the end of the video to find out some details on that. And also stay tuned in the next week or so. There will be a couple more videos dropping on how you can actually pick up one of these for yourself. So stay tuned.
Without further ado, our guest in the center of the screen, Mr. Ezra Aderhold. What is up, Ezra?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on.
And I thought we were
Thanks
gonna
for coming on, brother.
thought we were gonna have Danny with us, but
No, we do. He's there. If you look, he said he wanted this to be more about Ezra and a little bit less about OTB and way less about himself. So we set it up that way.
oh, there's Danny down there. Let's bring him more into focus. There he
Danny.
is. What's up, Danny?
What's
Corbett?
up, guys? What's good?
Everything's good, man. We got you guys here. We got the first official episode of Circle 3. We'll get the vibe back up. Get those tunes back up. You guys can hear that a little bit in the headphones. And we're just going to chill. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk. We're going to talk to you, Ezra. We're going to talk to you, Danny. And hopefully get to know you guys a little better. We've got some fun questions for you. We've got a chat rocking right now with, how many people are in this chat? 26 viewers in the chat. And that's just going to build as the night grows. So first off, Ezra, Danny, thank you guys so much for being with us tonight. And yeah, I guess the first thing we want to know is, after welcoming you, a little bit of background. So Ezra, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then Danny, and then we'd love to know, like, how did you guys link up? How did that connection between you, Ezra, and OTB come to be at the start? And take it away, guys. It's all you.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I grew up kind of in a small town back in South Dakota, and sports were kind of a big part of my childhood growing up, all from like age 9, basically, all through high school. I didn't really start getting too serious with disc golf until I was actually out of high school. I was more focused on golf in high school, and then transitioned over into disc golf, and then started taking it like seriously on a professional level just a few years ago. So, and then now I'm here.
That's what
Taking it by storm, too.
a few years ago. Sounds like my good buddy from up here, who you've probably run into a couple times, Ezra, Mr. Thomas Gilbert. I'm lucky enough to get to play some rounds with him when he's at home. We played around with each other, I think early spring or maybe kind of late last year. And it was the same thing with him. I remember 3 years ago when he was skipping high school classes to come down to the park to practice throwing frisbees.
Nice. That's sick.
How do you feel, like kind of a side one? How do you feel, playing golf helped you transition into disc golf?
I think it helped a lot. I think there's a lot of things that can carry over. Obviously, I think the mental game is a big one that can carry over. I think just like decision making on the course helps a lot. I think the way I built my game is kind of the same as I built my game in golf. I kind of realized in golf that I needed to have a good technique in order to hit the ball further and straighter and more consistent. So I think I was able to carry a lot of those kind of fundamentals over into disc golf and just kind of keep the same principles the same, and then just apply it to disc golf. So I think it definitely helped out a lot in that sense.
It does seem like most of your shots carry over pretty much anything in front of you.
Sometimes they go OB, sometimes they don't. I don't know.
Oh, goodness. Danny, what about you, sir? So tell us a little bit about yourself. Everyone knows about OTB. Not everyone knows about Danny Corbett. We'd love to know more. How did you get your start in disc golf? What made you want to start one of the most recognizable disc golf shops in all of the world.
Oh, I'm California, born and raised. Was born down in San Diego area, SoCal. Moved up to NorCal early on. I got lucky, man. I started playing when I was probably 7 or 8. My dad played since the 70s or 80s, and so kind of just brought me out to the course, and I, like most of us, fell in love instantly and haven't stopped playing since. That was probably 94. And then I think 2000s was when we started to play some tournaments regionally. Was lucky enough to play in a few of the worlds growing up, playing in some of the AM worlds, even up in London, Ontario for 2003 Junior Worlds. That's where I met Kim and even Sexton too. And then went to college in Santa Cruz, got to play some day law. Graduated then with business management and was doing my own thing, doing bookkeeping and accounting, and had some local clients. And then it was 2014. I decided to just see what could happen with the disc golf retail game. Started real local. Just wanted to bring out a bunch of discs to local tournaments and start to set up script. So instead of just getting handed a big stack of plastic, you could actually choose what you want. The selection kind of built. 2016, we launched the website. 2018, we opened up a store, hired first employee, and then it's just kind of taken off from there. Last year was nuts, obviously, with the explosion of disc golf, and it's grown, and now we're up to a 9 or 10 person crew given any given day. But it's been a blast.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the pictures of you guys moving into your new warehouse, especially when you guys were sharing those at the beginning. And what was that like, man, moving? Because you guys were really similar to a company I used to support here in Canada, I think, in the beginning, Top Link Disc Golf, where they were running out of their house. They took over the entire main floor of Ryan's house. So what was it like for you transitioning out of that, kind of running stuff out of the house into having a warehouse space?
Yeah, so it's funny. We actually moved from one house to another house almost. So it was in my house, my wife and I took up one full room. Then I took up 2 full rooms. Then I'm spilling into the garage. Then it's in the family room. I was basically everywhere but the kitchen and our bedroom. And we finally found a spot in 2018, which was a lawyer's office before us, and I think architects before them. But it was really just like a 50s era house. So we basically moved from one house to another, and I think we had maybe 1,500 feet of working space, but it was in these different like bedrooms essentially. And yeah, now we got a little bit of elbow room going into like a probably 4,500 square foot warehouse, and we've sectioned it off. The front half is open for retail, and that's where we've got everything online. Back half is kind of offices and one main big work area, and then a podcast studio.
Lots of love for you in the chat, Danny.
And then one day you looked out your front door, and as I heard it, you saw a guy sleeping in his Prius. You went outside, and what happened next?
Man, that's essentially what happened. Just about. You guys are a rock star. Yeah, so honestly, I told people this a lot. It's 100% props to Nate Perkins there for giving us the heads up on, the potential that he saw in Ezra. He goes, there's this dude in South Dakota just slinging them. He said, if you're looking for anyone else, because we had just signed Perks, he said, if you're looking for anyone else that's on the rise, hit up Ezra. And that was during a long 3-hour podcast with him. And yeah, so it was like the next day or two, reached out to Easy, and we made something happen, and we've been trying to show him love ever since. And dude, he's killing it. He's done way more for us than we've done for him, and we'll keep trying to tip those scales.
That's not true.
So Ezra,
yeah, it's been awesome.
So Ezra, when Danny reached out to you, were you looking for a sponsor at that time? Was there something you were looking at in sponsorship? And I guess it's a kind of great segue into our next topic, because we want to talk to you guys both about sponsorship. Ezra, what were you looking for in a sponsor? What are the things you were looking for out of someone to support you? And then Danny, vice versa, what do you look for in a player that you're looking to support kind of going forward? So maybe Ezra, we'll start with you. I'd love to know that on your side.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, I wasn't necessarily looking for a sponsor, but I also wasn't like closed off to the idea of it. I knew that since I was, pretty unknown and I hadn't really established myself as a good player or anything on social media yet, I knew everything was just kind of based on potential, that I wouldn't be able to get like a super good deal from a manufacturer probably. And so I kind of figured at that point that if I wasn't going to get something that would help me stay on the road really and just kind of get like free discs from a manufacturer, it wouldn't be worth trading to one company at that time. And then so OTB made a lot of sense. I could throw everything, and they, obviously with Nate Balkins vouching for them, it made a lot of sense in that aspect. And then obviously at the end of last season, signing with Discraft, signing with an actual manufacturer made a lot more sense, and all the pieces just kind of fell in place. And yeah, it's been a great ride so far.
Very, very.
So a lot of players, with the progression we often see with players coming into the sport, they take the first sponsor they can get. Which, okay, with OTB you did, but you took a sponsor that let you keep your own bag and didn't give you a bus. So, how do you feel like that compares? What was your experience then, being able to step up and have had the experiences you had and be able to go out and crush a couple of eagles in front of people that might not have been able to do the same thing on a certain hole 17? Do you feel like did you feel like the king of the mountain? Because the disc golf press, such as it was, kind of saw you that way. What was that process like? Did you have every manufacturer coming to you, or just all of them?
Yeah. I'd actually gotten reached out. I mean, there were a little bit of talks, I think, before even going to OTB back in, what was it, a year and a half ago or so. And I just felt like at the time it wasn't worth it for either party involved. And so just didn't make anything happen. And then, I mean, obviously the last season, I think maybe all or most of the main manufacturers were definitely interested. And then it came down to just kind of what I thought would be the best fit for me and what the best long-term decision was. And I think that's what Discraft made the most sense. I felt like we both have similar goals and similar drive, and same as OTB. I think we're all trying to push ourselves and each other kind of to just as far as we can go, and just disc golf in general. And so I think that's where everything kind of fit into place. So yeah, it's been a good partnership so far.
That's amazing.
If you need some good trash talk for Bob, let me know. I got you covered.
He seems to enjoy it, so definitely I'll definitely take some.
I'm your guy.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I'll take it too.
What about you, Danny? So I saw you guys posting today. You were posting in your Instagram story about some new sponsorships and stuff. So what are you looking for in a player when you're looking to sponsor someone and kind of bring them forward and give them a platform?
Yeah, there's three main facets that we look at. Obviously, the caliber of your play on the course is going to play into it. And as much as people might think that that's the top tier, it's really not. And then the social media is another aspect of it too, and just kind of the reach that you're able to get. But most important for us is just signing on good humans, guys and girls that are going to represent the brand well, and that we just have full faith that we're supporting people that have the right mindset out there.
1,000 rated people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, our local club we sponsor, it's nowhere near your guys' scale, but it's the same mentality. There's people that will ask us how to get on the team, and we actually don't even have an application. We just kind of will meet as a council from time to time. It's for us, it's all just local players, like who's coming to league early to help out, or who's coming to tournaments early to help, and not necessarily looking to be in the spotlight, just who's there to be supportive and help other new disc golfers. I mean, it's the ambassador thing, for us, like I'm on the underground team, which is the JV squad, but, it's all the time, like just helping whether it's a new collector, new tournament player, someone sending you a PM with a video like, hey, can you look at this? I don't want to go on the form check page and get shredded, just just kind of helping usher this influx of all these new people we have in the sport we love.
Yeah, that's huge. Just donating time to the sport, essentially. I think just about every local TD we end up, sponsoring, and it's just something where you're giving back to the sport. We're in a position to be able to give something to you. We're gonna try and do that. It's so much easier to figure out who to sponsor locally, because you get to know the person and you have a good idea of who they are. So guys and girls that we're sponsoring locally was super easy, and it's been hard to figure out who to sponsor on, a more national level, but still kind of amateur, where it's easy enough for us to figure out some of the, bigger pros that we want to sponsor, because you can see them. They're more visible, whether it's social media or, the GK Skins match, or just being on coverage. You get some idea of who they are. But, we get requests all the time from different people over the country, like, hey, do you sponsor AMs? And it's something that I really want to get better at having a good answer for, because it's a valid question, and we'd love to be able to figure out all the different people that, are deserving of those sponsorships. But one, it's a little overwhelming, the requests, and two, it's just hard to get to know somebody, just over the phone or just online, or really just browsing a profile.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the relationship part is tricky. Just you can check the feedback page.
That's true too, and that's a good spot.
So I think one thing people love about playing disc golf is those memorable moments. For me, like seeing myself actually throw a hyzer flip for the first time, maybe one of my most memorable moments in disc golf. Seeing that disc flip off, start to move right, just so cool. Getting an ace. So I want to hear about your most memorable disc golf moment so far. Ezra, we're going to go to you first. Danny, I want to hear not your most favorite. It doesn't have to be your favorite disc golf moment. It could be disc golf playing. It could be your most favorite moment with OTB. But Easy, we're going to go to you first, buddy. So far, what is your favorite moment in disc golf?
There's been a lot of good ones, obviously, so it's kind of hard to choose. One of the ones that comes to mind is winning Clash of the Canyons. That was kind of my first big all event win with a lot of good competition. To finish the final round where I shot 1096 and kind of have that feeling of almost shooting like a perfect round, basically. That was really something, and Nico kind of gave me a hug afterwards, and that was pretty special. So that one comes to mind. Nico, yeah.
Nico Lacastro hugged another human.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah, he's.
I know he is.
I like playing with him.
Danny,
I played Delwood, and that course almost broke me. And I actually watched your coverage of that round that you played. Respect, dude. That was a great performance, because that course destroyed me.
My favorite.
Ezra, I don't know if you know this. You're pretty good. So.
I'm pretty inconsistent, is what I would say.
My favorite.
Well, we were talking about this. What if we had OTB put together a tournament that was only 2 rounds?
Hey, that'd be good this season. I'd be doing great.
Oh man, yeah, no, I laugh every time. I laugh every time I see someone online be like, "Oh yeah, Ezra's great at Vegas because he can bomb. Ezra's great." And then my favorite thing is every time I'm on those threads, someone will drop the Delwood video and they'll be like, "Yeah, 1096, bro, in the woods. What you know about that?" Oh goodness.
Trees don't matter when you can just throw through them.
What about you, Mr. Corbett? What's your favorite disc golf moment?
For me, it's the road trips, whether it's with my old man, or I've done some nice ones with my mom. She doesn't play. It's traveling with the homies. I love competing. I love throwing, as we all do. But I think that those trips with everybody is the stuff that I really look forward to, and the stuff that I really look back on.
Danny, I'm sorry, but I've checked the answer sheet here, and the correct answer was signing Ezra Aderhold.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah.
But second to that, yeah.
What's your favorite road trip destination? If you're taking 4-day weekend, rolling with some homies to play, what's the trip?
Santa Cruz is always fun. I love Glen Eagles in San Francisco, but I think it would probably be going up to Brick Trails in Willits, California. That course is probably the most beautiful course that I've ever been at, with the exception of maybe the one on Hawaii in Maui. But that place is amazing. There's lots of fun stuff to do around. There's some other courses around there that are great. And, I don't know, 3-4 hours, plenty of time to for shenanigans on the road.
Nice.
That's awesome. Well, that is our first segment wrapped up. We got 2 more segments with these amazing guys. We're going to take our first sponsor break. Before we do, we're running our Sweet Spot giveaway for the night. The key word in the chat is sweet. SWEET. It's so sweet. Type that in the chat while you are watching this awesome ad for Sweet Spot Disc Golf. And we will be right back on Circle 3.
Gather round, children. I, Gandalf, will tell you a tale of the times before. Of a legendary place, the sweetest spot in all the land, where circles of plastic would appear, glowing from our screens, and with the ritual of the cart, they would appear days later at our doors. The richest colors, the finest discs, and the kindest people. Oh, it truly was a sweet spot for disc golf. Some say this place still exists. Its vault sealed, the treasures glittering inside, awaiting the great prophecy of Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And that comes again. I hope you will be there.
Sweet Spot Disc Golf. So good, our advertising department writes fan fiction about us.
Sweet Spot Disc Golf. Thank you so much, Paul Blair, for collaborating with me on that ad. Chris Kerns. Oh, you're muted still. That's my bad, Chris. Katie and Don are just the best
Can you hear me
people in the
now?
world. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Yeah, we're back. We got the Sweet Spot Disc Golf website up here. Check it out, especially their vault, guys. Tuesdays and Fridays. Sorry, we had that wrong in the commercial there. Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Sweet Spot opens that vault up, and right now we're going to do our Sweet Spot giveaway. We've got the chat up here, and we have 25 people that entered the word sweet. And we're going to roll it. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this week's Sweet Spot giveaway is Mr. David Carter. David Carter taking home the Sweet Spot giveaway. Congratulations, David Carter, and a huge thank you to Sweet Spot Disc Golf. Back to our
David's
round
looking
table.
for some 150 class meteors. That's David's go-to.
That's
so.
150 grand meteors, full send on the back end.
Yeah, that's David's
release.
Heiser boom sauce.
Congratulations, David Carter. And we are back. We are back with Circle 3, Ezra Aderhold, Danny Corbett, Paul Blair, and your hosts, Brandon Timney and Chris Kerns. And we're going to move right into the good, the bad, and have a good time. We want to talk some tops, some of your favorite things, some of your least favorite things in disc golf, and just talk a little bit about you and Ezra, your brand, and kind of your messaging, and kind of what you want to bring forward. So I guess the first question we have for you guys is, let's talk courses. So we were talking about Delwood, we were talking about you smashing it. Ezra, what is your favorite? Maybe if you can give us your top 3. We won't make you do one. Top 3 courses you've ever played.
Okay. Yeah. I think close to the top is got to be Toboggan in Michigan. That's definitely one of my favorites. I love the elevation change and the ability to kind of let loose and just whip shots. I love that course. And then I would say Fox Run is probably up there too. Up in GMC in Vermont. That location is just amazing. It's like one of maybe my favorite destination in disc golf, with that course and Smuggler's Notch right next to it. 2 of the best courses in the country that I've played. And then I'll maybe say USDGC. I like just the whole feel of that tournament. So I think I'll go with those 3. There's definitely a lot of good ones. I like Jonesboro a lot. The one we're playing this weekend, even Belton in Texas, is really good. But those are the three that I'll go with for now.
All
Nice.
right.
I love toboggan, and I'm fortunate enough that I live about 35 minutes from that course.
Nice.
So
Wow.
it last year when COVID came in, and in Michigan they started pulling baskets from the actual courses,
Wow.
but they still had the rubber fly mats toboggan. So we were bringing a skill shot and just playing the toboggan since all the other courses were shut down.
Nice. That's sick.
Least favorite courses, Ezra. What are the courses that you're just like, nah, I'm not waking up to play that. It's supposed to rain later. No chance.
Oh boy. I don't know if I can say any specific one. I don't like courses that are kind of janky. If there's just weird OB, or if it's like wooded to the point where there's not really gaps to hit, it's just kind of poke and pray. Those are the courses I don't like. I'm not going to say anything specific because I don't, some people probably like those courses, so I'm not going to say specific courses. But
he's talking about hole 15 at Waco again.
maybe. But yeah, they'll just,
Oh,
those
well, they're
are
not
some
muted.
courses
Sorry,
that
guys.
Yeah. So I like fair courses in general. So if I feel like it's not a fair course, obviously everyone's playing the same course, so it's fair in that sense. But I don't want to throw the exact same shot twice and have a completely different result. So courses like that.
Makes sense, yeah.
Makes total sense. And Danny, what about you? What's your favorite course to play? You said road tripping. It's a big thing for you.
Yeah.
So where's that number one road trip course?
Man, again, it's hard to go against De La. I think my favorite right now in California is still probably Glen Eagles. I don't get to play it much anymore. But they're not going to be using it for SFO, which is moving to our backyard. So bittersweet there. We're stoked to have it. But Glen Eagles, because I'm going to get beat up every time. It's a battle, especially if you're only throwing, 400, 450, and you're not bombing them 7+ like Ezra over there. It's a course that's going to eat your lunch. So I really like that one. Kansas City, going there in 2003 Worlds, Waterworks was one of the most fun I think that I've played, and I didn't really appreciate it at the time, but looking back, it was a good challenge. I'm in for any course that is just going to beat me up. I want a challenge. I want, every birdie to be a struggle. And if everybody's coming in over par on a fun but fair course, then that's my style.
Wicked. I absolutely love that. What about you, Paul? What's your favorite kind of course to play at? You're in the Oregon area. There's some amazing courses there.
Yeah, I like the indoor ones this time of year, of which there's pretty much just my garage, which is a single basket course. It's still a par 3 somehow. But yeah, generally speaking, outdoor courses right now are an exercise in British weather and mud boots. Not super recommended. It gets beautiful here the rest of the year, starting in about 2 weeks. Or you can always go over to Bend where it's nice all the time. Jerks.
Oh, goodness. So, one question I have is everyone asks you about disc golf all the time, Ezra, I'm sure. What are your passions outside of disc golf? You still play a little bit of ball golf? What do you like to do in the, I'm sure, limited, which is why we appreciate you coming out so much tonight. What do you do in that downtime? I saw you post a hell of a score, and you said with your offhand bowling yesterday.
Yeah, I don't really do a whole lot of fun things outside of disc golf or like social media, while lifting. Those are kind of the main things that I do, just really disc golf oriented, I guess. But yeah, we went bowling last night, I think, and it was Uliberry and Tristan Tanner. And so Tristan was bowling with his left hand, so Yuli and I we used our left hands as well, just to kind of even the playing field. And I think I bowled about what I would bowl with a right hand. So I don't even know if it's my offhand for bowling. It's probably about the same, But I like ball golfing as well. We actually went ball golfing all this week for a YouTube video, so stay tuned for that. That should be fun.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of try to limit my passions, I guess, outside of disc golf, to try to be as focused on that as I can be. Kind of boring, but that's the way it is.
No, it's a great answer. I know
The guy sitting here living the life that most of our viewers wish they could have, saying it's boring. Yeah.
I mean, it's not boring, just that I don't have a whole lot of other things that I do aside from disc golf.
All those boring 400-foot par threes that you get bogeys on every time. Fine, whatever.
It's just how much he loves it, man.
Someone
Free
in the chat
discs
just said,
everywhere.
Ezra lifts.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's definitely a passion of mine. Obviously, I think that feeds into disc golf and makes me a better disc golfer. So that is one of the things that I definitely enjoy, and I feel like lifting is almost more important for my mind than it is for my body. I feel like when I go to the gym, it just kind of it's like a stress relief almost, and it just kind of gets me in a good place. So I like it for that.
But I do think you set a great example on the nutrition and fitness side. I mean, I think last year is when I personally noticed a lot more people starting to tune into Disc Golf Strong, and start focusing on, sports nutrition. And that's coming more and more into our sport like others. And I really do. I think you're a great example. It sounds like it's something that's just natural for you, that you're already passionate about it. It helps you, like you said, with, mentally and physically, but I appreciate seeing that.
Cool. Yeah, I think as the sport grows, it'll just kind of become more important to find that little extra piece that can kind of push you to the next level in the game and give you an edge on the competition. And I feel like nutrition and fitness can kind of be one of those pieces. I feel like if you look at other sports, the ones that are more well established, they have kind of already implemented that in some way. And so I think disc golf is just going to kind of catch up. And it's really cool to see more and more people taking it seriously and spreading good examples. So I'm excited to see fitness and diet continue to kind of make strides in disc golf.
That's awesome.
Oh, thank you for helping with that.
I think it's a good segue to Paul. Paul, you had some nutrition questions for Mr. Ezra Aderhold as a fellow vegan.
Nice.
Okay, well, I do have a sponsor-related question, vegan to vegan. The Elite series, the Elite High Welcome Ezra, the ones we just saw in that video. Super disc, obviously you love it. Everybody loves it. Everybody that doesn't have one in a year is going to be kicking themselves. And that stamp, I mean, it looks like a mushroom cloud, but we all know it's broccoli, right? Did you feel attacked at all when the follow-up stamp, the guy who is, and I know we're not going to talk a lot about beans because we're trying to keep you off that brand, but did you feel a little attacked when they put a gas mask on your main disc?
That's the Big Z stamp. I think it looks sick. I mean, I don't know.
I agree, it does. It's
the nuclear hazmat suit, so I like it.
We
Excellent.
love it.
Good
Your Tour Series disc this year looks sick. Ezra, I've got a personal question about that Tour Series disc. I'm an avid hard foil collector, and your disc is one of the only ones I've seen. Most of the foils are like flat, matte colors. Have you seen any like crazy, sparkly, glittery foils, or Danny, have you on the nukes yet this year? None of them, just flat colors, Danny? I see Danny shaking his head. Yeah.
I've seen some cool ones from the false, the initial release with the mushroom cloud, but I feel like I've only seen black and white of the like a hazmat, like the 2L Series Z ones.
I've got some nasty Elite Team ones with some crazy stamps on those ones. They're beautiful, but that's sick, Kerns. Yeah. So
I love the jelly bean foil. And this, I think if I hit like 100 more trees, I'll be able to throw this one straight. But it's definitely it's a pop top. It's a beefy one.
Oh, that's a good one. That's what you want.
Yeah. This has saved me in some nice windy, when I can't throw, I like to throw a GMC nuke, the SP Swirls, like 2017.
Nice.
But when there's a little more wind or I need a for sure hyzer, this is the perfect one.
There we go. It's perfect.
So Ezra, on your you posted a great video, I don't know, half a lifetime ago, it feels like, probably with the pandemic and all, but about what you eat on tour, which, I mean, obviously that's probably changed a bit, what with Backstage Organics and natural grocers are hooking you up these days, right? But how would you say, like, do you get a lot of questions about that on tour from the other pros? Is it just sort of they look at you and they can't say anything, which is fair. I mean, look at both of us, right? But
yeah, I mean, I definitely get some questions. It's I guess questions I get are mostly more about fitness than diet. I think people generally maybe underestimate how important diet is. Obviously, walking out, you're not going to grow muscle if you don't actually go to the gym and walk out and lift weights. But I definitely do get diet questions, which is really cool that people are interested in the way I eat if I'm trying to eat healthier. But yeah, with the new sponsor, Backstage Organics and Natural Grocers, it's been really cool to be able to implement some different things into my diet and some more healthy foods. I've been eating smoothies and salads a lot, which is really great. I think just to get all those extra nutrients into my body.
That's fantastic. Any standout favorites? Any new staples? I mean, because last we heard from you in that video, it was about 4 things, which, I mean, again, I think people underestimate the importance of consistency and eating what your body needs. And if you find it, stick with it. But what's new on the menu?
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly, I'm still eating a lot of tacos, a lot of Mexican food, but it's the salads and the smoothies are the main thing, just to get more fruits and vegetables into my body. So that's been really good. As far as some of the favorites that I've found through Backstage Organics, I really like the Once Again nut butters. They've got jars that I get to use for if I ever do have a peanut butter sandwich or something like that, or if I want to put that in my smoothie, that's great. They've also got little packets that you can just squeeze out and just take on the go. Those are really good. I really like the Purely Elizabeth granola. That's fantastic as well. Put that on my smoothies. That's been great too. Highly recommend trying this stuff out.
And what about on the course? Do you pack stuff for mid-round? Do you eat a little bit between? Like how do you keep going, or is it just you just power through?
Yeah, I mean, snacking definitely helps keep the energy high, especially on a long round and those holdups and backups, and if it's hot out, you need to stay energized. So a lot of the Backstage Organic stuff can help with that. Those Once Again things I talked about. Well, Purely Elizabeth has balls as well. There's a lot of other brands too, so I'm not going to probably think of them all. Organic Food Bar has some really good, some super healthy food balls that are great to just stick in the bag and pull them out during the round as well.
That's awesome.
Food is fuel, folks. Eat the good stuff.
So Ezra, something I know is super important to you, aside from your nutrition, is your faith. And I have a good friend from Canada, Mr. Mark Oxer, who I think you know through Eagles Wings Disc Golf, who actually told us about you early on. He was like, you guys at Top Lane should try to see if this Ezra guy wants some sponsorship when you're up and coming. And I just want to know, we were talking a lot, Kerns and I, about handling adversity, whether it's in real life on the course, whether it's on social media. How does your faith help you with that? And how does kind of your moral compass and the things that are important to you kind of help you dictate the way you make your brand and show people who Ezra is?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps, kind of keep me on the right path and try to keep me focused on what's important at the end of the day. And if I play bad, it's always nice to know that God is there for me and tries, wants what's best for me, even if playing bad might be the way it is, which can be really frustrating at times, thinking that maybe my bad round is what is best for me. But there is confidence that I can gain from that and just trust. And so it's definitely something that's been important to me. Just, I grew up in a Christian home, and so I've been able to carry that with me. And it's definitely a really important part of who I am, I guess.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. I'm a pastor's kid, so I grew up with everyone expecting. Ooh. Oh yeah, right. Expecting so much, and but it's the same. It's just that belief in that kind of community, and I've seen that a lot in disc golf. A lot of people I've met and got to know really well kind of have that kind of common thread through the disc golf community. So I think that's really cool, and I appreciate you saying that. What about you, Danny? So handling adversity for you may be a little different as one of the biggest retailers when it comes to disc golf. How do you handle adversity when it comes to things like big drops that people can't get what they're looking for, and your site's crashing, I lost stuff from my cart? How do you let that stuff kind of slide off your shoulders and deal with that and kind of just plugging away?
Two things. First and foremost, we've got a great crew. I've got a great team behind me. And then second is anytime something like that happens with the site, I just try to spin it as a positive, and it's a chance for us to flex our customer service muscles. Everything we were talking before we went live, that every site goes down, whether it's, Jordan, Nike, or Paul's messing up with his, main employer, whatever it might be. Every site's going to go down at some point, and there's going to be struggles. There's going to be times we mess up. We try to limit how often that happens, but when it happens, we're gonna do everything we can to make it right and treat people the right way.
And I think every person in here wants to thank OTB for the 60-minute cart. I think that is, bar none, just the best thing in disc golf retail, especially when you've got awesome friends that will just pick stuff up for you and be like, I got this for you. It's in my cart. Just pay me for it. I know you wanted this disc. And I love how the site works, and I like how if someone drops it from their cart, it just goes back into the pool and someone else can pick it back up. It's just such a great way for people to get what they want, and it's so frustrating to get stuff bought out of your cart. So we appreciate that. We see people saying they appreciate that in the chat.
Yeah, no doubt. There's no perfect system. We like this one better than anything else we've tried. Everyone hates when stuff gets purchased out of your cart. It's still not quite perfect yet, because if two people are clicking add to cart at the same time, it's going to give somebody potentially a false positive reading that it got in their cart, and then they're going to go to their cart and see that it's not there. Or there's the rare occasion where somebody can't check out because it says it's not in their cart. So it's not perfect, but it's close and it's getting there. And at least once you go to your cart and you see it's there, you're solid for you're solid for that 60 minutes. Some people are saying it's a little too long too. Like, come on, give them like 15 minutes to check out. I want that stuff to drop. I don't want to have to keep refreshing the page, for the full 60 minutes. So we'll keep tweaking it, but it's something that we really liked from any of the sites that we had purchased. So we figured out a way to make it happen on our site, and it's definitely a feature that people appreciate.
That 60 minutes was great yesterday when you guys were dropping new discs every 15 minutes at some points, and I could just fill my cart up.
Those Ezra Roaches, man.
Shipping. So speaking of those Ezra Roaches, I think it's time for our, I don't know if that's the giveaway, but we got a giveaway from OTB. So Danny's got something for us here that he's going to show on the screen.
Oh boy.
And look,
so there's
those.
There's the first one. And this, for those, I know we're in the Paul and Paige collector group. This one's got the hidden stars.
Oh, damn.
Oh my.
And then this one's one of, 50 something double stamps. So we've got two. I don't know how you guys want to run it. If we want to do both to the same, or if we want to draw two, we don't mind shipping to a couple different places. I'll leave that.
Actually,
up to,
everybody, that's all the time we have tonight. Sorry, I'm going to have to cut us off here. But
these are heading to Paul.
So the key word in the chat, folks, is OTB. We're going to give you about 1 minute here to get the letters OTB with no space in the chat. People are already saying OTB is the king of disc retail. That got you an entry into this giveaway. Just saying that amazing thing about Danny Corbett and the team at OTB. So we're going to give people a couple seconds here to keep typing OTB. And after that, we'll move on to our last quick segment with Danny and Ezra. We're going to have some fun in this last segment. Ask you guys some hard questions.
I want to take a moment, too, to shout out your other sponsors, Sweet Spot and Wolfpack. We've got a lot of love and respect for the way that they're doing business. And, it's a fun game that we're all playing. And we appreciate seeing the way everybody does stuff differently. So huge shout out to Sweet Spot and Wolfpack for sponsoring this and for doing what they do. A lot of love from California.
Yeah, I have to say,
Nice.
it's been one of the best things about this community is everybody's pretty laid back, and the fact that we can have regular sponsors and come in with direct competition and they're just like, and you're mature enough to shout them out. It's pretty cool. I mean,
it's a beautiful thing.
Not that you're sending Ezra shirts to wear from them or anything, but
All right, we've got 28 people who have typed OTB in the chat, and we're gonna roll it here, folks. So I think we'll do the oh, James White got in there. He was already in. It's all good. So gotta read this comment. Don and Katie are two of the sweetest people. Absolutely, they are. So is Brian and Danny. I echo that sentiment so much, and I really appreciate you saying that, man, because yeah, they're so great. You're great. I think that's what makes these places so awesome, is that it's not about being the best, being the biggest. It's about sustainability, and it's about growing disc golf. And profit's great, and growth is great, and that's going to come as disc golf grows. And I think that's what the three of you guys see in common, is that as disc golf grows, you guys are going to grow, and your business is going to grow organically. So the more you do to help grow disc golf, the more in turn that's going to come back to you. And you guys really get that right. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's huge for us to feel that support too. I mean, Wolfpack and Sweet Spot said they'd sponsor us before they even saw an episode, and we've changed the name, so this is official episode 1 of this, Circle 3. But and then just having Danny and Ezra, having you guys on here, we've been geeked. This is the highlight of the week. I mean, we've been so geeked that you guys were willing to come in and spend time with us. It's phenomenal. This community is beautiful. And that's
Sorry
my little
about that. I was having mic issues. Paul Blair, is my mic fixed now, sir? Yeah? We good? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
It's still crackling?
Still got a little of that robot thing. Some people might really like it.
It's all good.
We can hear you.
I'll just talk less right now. It's not a big deal. All right. We're going to do our giveaway. First winner of that single stamp on that clear disc is Adam Scott Howard. I don't have it up on the screen. Let's pull that up on the screen so you guys can see it. Adam Scott Howard is our first winner there. Congratulations, Adam. Oh, it's not my headset. I'm running through a lot of audio equipment here. I'm not sure why the crackle's happening. We'll figure that out, though. And our second winner of that double stamp, Catherine Bone. Catherine Bone. B-O-H-N. Congratulations, Catherine. So congratulations to Adam. Congratulations to Catherine. And we're going to go back to our fantastic guest here. And I'm going to let Mr. Chris Kerns take the lead so I can figure out what's going on with my microphone.
All right. Now, we like to kind of just end the last big segment, just kind of a fun round table with some Q&A, maybe get a little awkward, maybe get a little weird. But, it's one great thing is with disc golf, we still have such great accessibility to pros and some of our fine retailers and business owners like Danny. So, it's kind of neat that we get to be able to do this. So I know Sean's going to be lining up some fan questions for us, but we've all kind of just asked some silly, fun questions. And Danny and Ezra, you guys feel free to fire some questions at us too if you want to get a little question revenge or try to make us feel awkward. I welcome that challenge. Good luck making me feel awkward. But anyways, Paul, do you want to kick it off? I know you're Ezra. I'll say if
okay.
Paul ever wants to meet up with you, like bring someone along, maybe have a witness, just because it might get weird. I don't know. He likes you.
Okay, I was going to say my superpower is I feel awkward all the time, but after that intro, it turns out, nope, there's another level to it. Okay, so here's a scenario. Everything's terrible. It's raining. Somehow, your RV's on fire. You have to play. No choice. It's the final round of, I don't know, make something up, something important. But, with your drive, every round's important. It's round 3, the RV's on fire. Bob says, you can grab 3 discs out of any teammate's bag. What 3 discs do you pick? You got to play the whole round with them. And let's say it's toboggan.
Wow. Not my bag?
No, your bag's on fire.
Nope.
Okay.
All your discs are melted. It's a terrible day. Let's not dwell on that, though. We got a round to play.
Are you discs on fire too?
Probably.
No, he got out first.
All the Raptors have melted.
Let's see here. You know, I'll grab a Tool Series nuke out of Ben Calloway's bag. I know he's throwing those, so I know how those fly. I'll grab one of those. I will grab an ESP. I'll grab a Z Raptor out of Yuli's bag. That'll be my go-to fairway. And then the putting puddle is difficult because I think I'm maybe the only one who has the puddles that I use since they were like a test puddle. But I'll go with Macbeth's puddles. He got some Lunas in the Fierce plastic, I believe, and those felt pretty good. So I'll go with those. I'll go with one of those, I guess.
Those are the make moves, aren't they?
Possibly.
If you want to rep the JV
so.
team I'm on, you can borrow one of my underground Lunas.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah, because you'll be there with your bag, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Every time you say JV Kerns, it makes me think of Mighty Ducks in like D2 when they go away to that prep school, and it's like the varsity team versus the like junior varsity team, and
Yeah.
Adam Banks gets drafted up to varsity, and they use liquid nitrogen to freeze all their jerseys and shatter them. So I just got really deep into Mighty Ducks. I love that movie. Anyways. Watch
Well,
Mighty
you're from
Ducks.
Canada, so, makes sense.
Hockey, right? All right, more discs. So what is your favorite not popular Discraft disc you've thrown so far, Ezra? So like a mold not everyone has in their bag.
And if you talk about that test putter again,
Let's see. I think I'll say the Meteor. I'm not sure if that is even an unpopular disc anymore. I know Brody's been throwing it a lot, so I feel like a lot of people have been trying that disc out. But I think I'll have to stick with that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the Meteor, I think.
that makes sense. It's better for arms weaker than yours.
It's a sick disc.
It's a great mid.
Yeah.
You could throw nice finesse shots with that. That's Vanessa's Tour Series disc, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
As a vegan,
What
though,
about
can you really throw a disc that's meteor?
I mean, I guess.
Danny, what's your dark horse disc? What's that one that a lot of people aren't throwing that you love?
Oh, you know what? I know exactly what it is. It's the Baobab from AGL. It's an insanely overstable, like putter mid hybrid. People are probably more familiar with the Stego from Reptilian. It has that same top. It's my just dumb instant hyzer get out of trouble disc. It's something that I can launch on a forehand and it'll go 112 feet. It's just instantly getting to the ground. So that's probably my random disc that's in the bag.
That disc
Nice.
is so overstable that if you hold it flat and drop it, it'll still land on its left side.
It might. That's real. It'll fly. It's another one kind of like the Tilt, honestly, that will fly farther upside down than it will right side up.
Yeah,
So
I can
one
tell you
thing I
stories
love
about that.
about Haley and Paige signing with Discraft is this disc used to be heavily underrated, but the Z Stalker is a staple in my bag, and now it's way easier to get them because these were almost OOP at one point. But yeah, that's my fairway buzz, I like to say.
I was surprised Haley switched to the Heat this year because I thought the Stalker was a great choice, and the Heat's a good choice too. But the Stalker's money, and like you're saying, it kind of brought a little bit of a spotlight to a mold that was underutilized by the masses.
Yeah, definitely. I love the Heat too, actually. The Heat's a great disc. I'm glad that she picked that up for a Tour Series so they would be ample. All right. So let's see. Danny. Oh, Danny, you and your beautiful hat with the cool leather patch. You got a funny Ezra story for us.
Oh man, I don't know how funny of a story I might have. I will say I gave him some flack after Vegas. I think after each round, I was messaging him, and so after his first round, where you were I think 10 down and probably like 1070, 1080 rated, and it's like basically send him a text like, "Oh, you think you're hot stuff, huh? Like you think you're good at this?" And then sure enough, he follows it up with an even better round that he maybe got robbed by an algorithm of being 1100. And it's like, so you think you're good? You actually think you're going to be good at this? Yeah, right. And then, after his third round where he was giving himself a hard time and kind of down on himself, is like, dude, you give me Ezra chase card at the end of a course and like it's going down. And then sure enough, he has another good round and it's like, dude, settle. You're not that good at this. Let's be real. We're gonna get to some courses soon that you're not even gonna be able to handle. So just slow it down a little bit if you could, huh, bud?
I enjoyed those texts. Yeah, it was fun how you bounced right back into it after the false round too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If you're up, I'm gonna bring you down. If you're down, we're gonna try to lift you right back up.
I can appreciate that.
All right.
So maybe have a bad.
But and this isn't an. Yeah. This isn't an embarrassing Ezra story, but it's something that impressed me when we first met Ezra and he rolled through and we got him on the team. Is that when it's like, hey, what can we do for you? And it wasn't, hey, let me get some free merch or, if I could get some cash for gas money or for tournament entry fees. Is props to you, Ezra, for having the foresight and seeing down the road. And he just wanted exposure. He just wanted his name to be able to get out there more and more. And I thought that was such a great long-term mindset. And I can't fault anybody for having the short-term mindset of like, help me just get to the next tournament and get some discs in my bag. It was such a long-term game plan. And, I kind of knew then that you were going places.
Nice. All right. Well, let's flip the script. Ezra, do you have a pretty good or a fun Danny story?
Oh boy. I don't know. We haven't really hung out in person as much as I'd like. Obviously with me being on the road as much as I am in California. So yeah, I mean, we've obviously had some fun text messages and some fun phone calls. That's about it. Nothing that sticks out, I guess. Sorry.
Okay.
We're gonna have to get on some embarrassing stories soon, man. When you come through for OTB Open, like
there we go.
It's going crazy.
I look forward to it.
The subtle message here is that the embarrassing story about Danny is he's just not funny. Sorry, everybody.
There it is.
Oh man. Well, now I feel bad.
I just think you guys are too classy. That's all right.
I actually have a bad memory, probably.
So who would you say is the funniest pro on tour then?
Ooh.
The funniest pro?
Yeah.
I would definitely say the funniest pro is not Paul Ulibarri.
Well, we all knew that.
Hopefully he held that. I would honestly say Yuli's the funniest though. I think we've been touring now for like the last 5 days, whatever. We'll basically just laughing the entire time. So yeah, I would say I think there's actually an Instagram poll going on right now to see who is the funniest. And I think it might be between Paul and Jomi in the end. But yeah, I'd definitely say Yuli. He's always laughing, always smiling, always making jokes. So yeah.
All right. Well, everybody watching the stream, go vote for Yuli on that one.
Yeah, do it.
Do you and Yuli, now that you're touring together, do you guys have like cute little nicknames or pet names for each other?
We should. Maybe we will now.
Yeah. Or I have like a celebrity couple name.
That's what we need. We should have a fan vote. See what they can come up with.
Haterberry.
I'll fund the custom license plate on the RV.
Oh, that's what we need. That's perfect.
Nice. All right. Well, let's see here. Paul, do you got another one? You got some funsy action? I got a couple others lined up, but I don't want to be selfish here.
Well, we have a question from the audience. Ezra, so I don't know if anybody out there knows this, but there's an event coming up called the OTB Open. I assume we're going to see you there, contractually, if not out of desire. Do you know about the monster par 5, and how long did you ask for it to be?
I actually don't really know a whole lot about the course at all. I know that there was a bunch of foxes that run loose, so I'm excited for that. But I know if the OTB guys are the ones, you know, in charge of it, I think it's gonna be awesome. So I'm excited to play it for sure.
We've got just a small hand in the layout. I've been in on a little bit of the design, but it's
Okay.
Leonard Muse and the whole SFO crew that are really putting in the work. John Oliva, too, a local guy that we've got here that put in the original Swenson course. But we've got a nice makeshift course that we're going to push to make semi-permanent, but it's on a ball golf property, and we're borrowing their back nine from the big course. But there's some fun shots. We've got some long par 5s. I think hopefully it's going to be an enjoyable watch. There's a lot of water that comes into play, especially late. So yeah, it'll be a good time, but I take zero credit for the layout, especially if nobody likes it. I had nothing to do with it.
Nice.
But I'm assuming, Ezra, you're going to have to win that, right? I mean, that's just how that works.
It's actually in my contract, so I do actually have to.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm fixed and I'm not a robot anymore. Is that the
Sounds
case?
good.
Fantastic.
Hey!
Welcome back.
Although
Welcome back.
I was starting to think about how I would live my life kind of robotically, and it just doesn't fit my personality. So I wasn't really digging it too much. Don't put me in a box or anything like that. Jeez. Yeah.
What about like the box on the screen?
Unless it's a box on the screen.
Yeah.
We got a couple other questions that I saw coming in here that Sean Dixon was talking about, and he's helping us out in the chat. So one of them was from Jason Levois. Ezra, do you set goals? Are you a goal setter? And if you are a goal setter, what are some of the biggest goals you've set for yourself in 2021?
Yeah. I mean, last season on tour, my goals was basically just to play every tournament my best and try to give it my best effort, kind of on like a every shot basis, basically. This season, I feel like my game's gotten to a point where my goals have shifted, and my goal at every tournament now is to win. So I think my skill set's to a point where I actually have a very good opportunity to win any tournament I play if I play as well as I expect. So that's kind of my goal. I think as far as like overall season, I want to win at least one Pro Tour event or national tour event or major events. Obviously, there's a lot of good competition, and it's not going to be easy, but that's the main one. I also want to get top 8 in the Pro Tour points for the end of the season. So that's kind of motivation for me to give every tournament my best effort, even if I've kind of fallen off after the first round or second round, and I know that winning's maybe not in the chips anymore, but that's something I can kind of think about, try to get myself to play that final round as best as I can to, you know, make sure I get as many points as I can to hopefully get as many buys as I can for that last kind of Pro Tour finale tournament.
I love it.
That seems reasonable. So do you have another question from viewers here? Coming up as you have, you came into disc golf, you said fairly late, but as you came in, you must have been focused on, like, I think you mentioned at some point, like studying different people's forms to perfect your own. So when you were just getting into disc golf, who were your role models? And for bonus points and extra credit, have those shifted since you became a pro?
Yeah, when I first kind of made the switch to disc golf and kind of decided that I wanted to make that my full-time career choice, I wanted to have a lot of distance right off the bat. I figured the rest of the game I could just kind of build off of that, and I wanted to have that strong foundation. So I wanted to kind of get distance to a point where I could birdie any hole that anybody else can birdie. I didn't want to have a disadvantage going into any hole on any course, and so distance is kind of the one thing that can hold you back from even having a possibility of birdieing a hole. So at that time, I figured that technique was the main thing to increase distance, and so that's what I really put my focus in on. And some of the guys I looked at the time it was about 4.5 years ago, I think. And I watched a lot of videos on like Will Schustrick put out some good content that I studied his form a lot. Paul Macbeth, Eagle McMahon, Simon Lizotte, Ulibarri I watched too. A lot of guys. Drew Gibson was one that I watched as well. And I stuck with most of those guys, which I guess are still the guys at the top. So I watched a lot of those guys and tried to kind of figure out what they all did in common, to kind of figure out what that textbook form should be, and then try to kind of implement those things to my own technique, understanding that I'm still going to have kind of my own individual and unique technique off of that, which I think is kind of good advice to people who are trying to get more distance or just get better technique in general, is to kind of study other people's form, slow it down, and then compare it to their own form, and hopefully find some differences and kind of try to match them up. So those are the guys that I look.
Yeah. But after you study what works for them.
Yeah, right. And then as far as shifted, those guys that I look up to now, I look up to Paul Macbeth's, just, you know, his tournament presence. I really like the way he plays. I played with some rounds with Kale LaVisca, and just his positive mentality the entire time is something that I really look up to. So there's definitely guys like that I've kind of shifted away from the technique side of it, since I feel like there's not as much I can do on that side, but there's definitely things that I can improve on just on quals. So those some guys that I look up to for that.
Okay, quick follow-up question then. I think a lot of people think that your distance comes from, you lift, I guess it's obvious, right? So when you started, how far were you throwing?
Before I started really working on technique, I was sub 400, maybe like 375 on a good pull was also. Yeah, definitely not elite distance at all.
And so let's see. So that technique has gotten you, what's your longest throw?
If there was no wind on level ground, I can probably get 1/600, I would say.
Okay. So that's 225 feet from technique for those of you listening out there. I mean, you should hit the gym too, but field work, folks.
It's mostly technique.
Got a couple more quick questions here. Ezra, I was watching Yuli's live a couple hours ago when you guys were driving.
Nice.
And I heard you say something, and you said it with like almost shame. And I was like, why is he so shameful? He loves the Raptors so much. And so my question for you is, if you had to play a chorus, only CTPs, no putting, with one disc, what would you choose, and why is it the ESP Shield Raptor?
It would be a Raptor, yeah. I feel like it's a really good balance for distance and accuracy. You know, you can whip it and it'll hold up to power, but it'll still be accurate. Nice little fade. You can throw it very well for forehands or backhands. It's just kind of that go-to fairway driver that's fits so well in my bag. And I have different levels of wear as well. So I have ones that are overstable and then kind of understable. So I can kind of walk any shot, almost any distance basically, with the Raptor. So yeah, definitely would be confident with that disc.
It's my favorite disc in the world. I dumped one in a pond last weekend, and the amazing community hooked me up. So got some nice ones now. Kim Scott Wood, shout out, gave me a couple of those ones. So big shout out to him. It's a good segue though. So Zach, one of our good friends, has a question for you. And Zach wants to know, you just talked about how the Raptor's great because it's versatile. Forehand, backhand, full power, semi-power. You can do so many different things with it. Rate these best to worst for you. Backhand, forehand. You don't have to remember them all. Just maybe tell me what your best and your worst is. Backhand, forehand, distance, accuracy, mental game, putting, physical fitness. Which one of those do you think you struggle with the most? Maybe would be one that people don't think about the most.
I would say I probably struggle with forehand the most. Yeah, maybe forehand or just consistent accuracy. Consistency is really the main things. I feel like my game is pretty well-rounded and pretty strong in kind of every area. But I have a tendency to have some really bad rounds every now and again. So my consistency is not quite what it should be. I feel like my mental game is pretty strong. I think my physical fitness is pretty good too. But yeah, I'd probably say forehand is the weakest one. I'm really pretty bad at shaping shots with forehand. There's not a whole lot of difference that I can do aside from like flat or slight highs off. If I have to ante it, it's probably going to come out nose up and not go anywhere else. So I think I'll go with forehand as my weakest, probably.
So we got a lot of people in the chat saying a name that's not Ezra and it's not Danny. It's a name that you've heard a lot probably, Ezra, over the last couple of weeks. It's Gannon Burr. So this kid is 15 years old. And what do you see in him? Do you see like he's got that raw talent? Is he going big places? And what impresses you about his game being 15 years old?
I mean, just the ability to play as well as he did, I think shows a lot of potential. Hopefully he can stick with it and keep pushing and not bone out. If he can do that, then I think he'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with. Already is. What he got like top 10 at Waco, is that right? So I mean, yeah, that's super impressive at any age, and then to be 15 is it's crazy. I mean, I've heard his name before from some Midwest people talking about him. So it's really cool to see him kind of show up to a Pro Tour event and then play his game and do so well.
The people want to know about, I'm just rapid firing a couple more because I know you got things to do, like play around tomorrow. I heard you. Why don't you tell everyone what that feature card is again? I heard you say that on the live stream. That's a wicked feature card.
Yeah, we've got myself, we've got Paul Ulibarri, who actually won Belton 2 years ago, and then we've got Paul Macbeth and Nico LaCastro. So super
Wow.
sick. It's gonna be a lot of
That's
fun.
quite a group.
Fire.
Yeah.
And where can people watch that live anywhere, or is that post-produced? How can we see it?
Unfortunately, I'm not sure. It is a Pro Tour Silver Series event, so it's possible that it's on the DGN network. But it is gonna be post-produced as well on YouTube. So that would be sick.
That's
Excellent.
wicked. A big question in the chat. Everyone loves music. Music's super motivating. We haven't talked about music at all. So what gets you pumped up, Ezra? What is your go-to? Do you like music before your round? Does music get you pumped up? And if so, what is that go-to song, band, genre?
Yeah. I guess I mostly listen to just popular music, some more like R&B, rappy type stuff, I guess. Black Barrel's been kind of my go-to artist for a while. I've liked his stuff, so yeah, definitely go with him. I think I do listen to music before my rounds. Usually, I definitely don't listen during the round, but during warm-up and things like that, I do like to listen to music for sure.
And I think Zach Biberstein, Zach asked maybe the best question for us to kind of wrap up our interview with you tonight. And that's, what can we all do to best support you going forward in 2021?
Yeah, I mean, just supporting me on social media is big. Obviously, the 2-roll series discs, or the roaches on OTB, things like that help out a ton. Or just supporting my sponsors in general, help supporting OTB, supporting Discraft, Backstage Organics, Script. That's huge. Honestly, I mean, just seeing comments on YouTube, that supports me in a mental way. That's really helpful. So it doesn't necessarily have to be monetary either. But yeah, definitely feel the love, and it's really cool just to see as much support as I get. So yeah.
When that Ezra Facebook page is starting to grow and get some traction too.
That's cool too. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And Danny, what about you?
How can you?
Oh, sorry, Danny.
I was just gonna say, how can you not be an Ezra fan? Like, he does all the right things. His game is super interesting to watch. He's present on social media. All the YouTube content that he's putting out, and the videos are fun or helpful, or a mix of both. You're a hard guy to root against. I haven't run into anyone, and maybe it's they don't want to tell me, but I haven't run into anyone that's just like, I don't like Ezra.
And I'm sure everyone here is,
also.
but if you're not already, follow Ezra on Instagram, Ezra_Aderhold. And he is an awesome follow, and more so subscribe to him on YouTube. Share the videos. I think that's probably a great way we can support him, build his brand, build his following this year. Those videos are awesome. I heard you say something about a ball golf video, so I'm super excited to see that. Super excited to see that on the channel. And Mr. Kerns, Mr. Blair, do you guys have any final thoughts before we let Ezra and Mr. Corbett take off here?
For me, I just want to say, Danny, I appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate, I can tell talking to you or even just looking at your site, how customer centric you guys are with your business, which is huge. And sponsoring other players and just doing a ton to really support and help grow the sport. So really appreciate you doing that and just being you and coming on here to hang out with us. And, and Ezra, like I kind of mentioned before, it's kind of rare that we have this accessibility to some of the top players in our sport. One thing I've always loved about Paige Pierce is how much she engages people and how kind and how humble she is. And I have a lot of respect for you and appreciate the way you engage fans, you engage people on social media. Even though you've reached this great level of success, and I know you're not done, there's bigger and better out there for you, but you maintain this humbleness. I remember I was doing an unboxing video one time, or no, I was doing a live on the course on the Macbeth Pierce page, and I got a notification that you were watching, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I think it was with me and Max playing around. I was like, "Max, don't mess up. Ezra's watching," and he totally beefed a putt.
Nice.
An event not limited to when Ezra is watching, for those of you that don't know Max.
Yeah, so I really appreciate both you guys. That's it for me.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's
Thanks
good
for
to be on, and we're stoked to be able to do what we do at OTB, and I know Ezra's extremely stoked to be able to do what he does out on tour, and we're happy to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Thank you both very much for joining us. You guys are fantastic, as I'm sure everyone, if they didn't know before now, they sure do.
Well, thank you guys so much. We're going to take a quick break, come back to me, Kerns, Mr. Blair to wrap it up. And in that quick time there, we're going to cut to a commercial from Wolfpack Disc Golf. So thank you again, Ezra. Thanks again, Danny. And we'll be right back in just a minute. Thank you guys so much.
You know that sound. That's the sound of grabbing up
Wolfpack
at the end of a long week. There's nothing better than cracking open a cold
Wolf?
and feeling that buzz
That's Discraft. Discraft Buzz.
start to take hold. At the end of a long work day, at the end of a long week, reach for us.
Wolfpack Discs.
We'll be there for you.
All right, and the video might look a little awkward because I got to resize this in the screen, but Chris and Paul, you guys are going to have to anchor us with your words for a few minutes because you guys look pretty whack right now. I see
That's not a problem.
I see like half of Paul's face and half of Chris, but that's okay. It's all good. That was pretty spectacular, guys. Pretty cool talking to them.
That was a blast, and I'll say half of Paul's face is better than most of people's full faces. So, yeah.
As long as it's the outside half.
If we got to live off of words, he's my first pick in the draft.
Well, those of you still listening, make sure that you do check out Ezra's Facebook page. Tell your friends it's some great instructional content. He's got a real solid style. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Ciao. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you so much.